following video may be triggering for some viewers. It is intended for mature audiences and deals with topics of anxiety and depression.
You should have saved me some.
Hello, my friends. How you doing today? I am doing. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I got a package. I got a package here from Arrow Films. Okay, so this is an Arrow video unboxing. But before I do that, listen. I know I got some people, some subscribers, some viewers that complain that sometimes my videos run on too long, and then I got some people say, you know what, you just keep doing you. And this is one of those days where I'm just gonna sit back, okay, and we're gonna relax a second. We're gonna take a few minutes. We're gonna breathe.
Breathe in through nose. Breathe out the mouth.
Smell the flowers, blow the bubbles. Yeah, and we're gonna talk a little bit before I get into my Arrow video mess up or problem or issue that I probably brought on myself. I want to talk about like mental illness problems, okay? And the fact that they are hereditary, okay? And now listen to me. I know for years I've been going to my doctor's office, and I cannot stand more than anything else in the world when the doctor asks me, what do your parents suffer from, or your grandparents suffer from? Is there any history of diabetes in the family? Is there any history of cancer in the family? Is there any history of, you know what? Whenever they ask me that question, I don't want to answer that question. I don't want to answer it because there is a history of this and there is history of that.
You done messed up!
But I like to think that I am the exclusion. Like I am not going to be affected by the screw-ups of my past. Like these people, I did not request for these people to be my parents and grandparents and great-grandparents or whoever they are. So why do I have to take the brunt? The brunt. Why do I have to get screwed for their issues that they had, okay? So every time my doctor asks me, or you know, do you have any problems, you know, in relation to your family or whatever, and I usually always say no. I always say no, even though there is a history of diabetes, there is a history of cancer, there is a history of a lot of different things in my family. So and the biggest one is bipolar disorder. Depression, anxiety. It flows in my blood.
Whoa, this is heavy.
So unfortunately, since I've been around 12, 13 years old, I've been struggling with this. Now I'm already up there in my ages. Let's say I'm past 20, okay, and I'm past 30, okay, and we'll just call it around there. Well, I'm a little bit further than that, yeah, but we'll just keep it around 30, okay, even though it's not true, but yeah, it's in the blood. It's in the blood, and I've been battling with this issue for a long time. Now, originally they diagnosed me when I was little. I think I was like 13 years old, manic depressant with suicidal tendencies. That's what I was diagnosed with. Okay, they said I was depressed. I was going through all kinds of stuff. Well, let's grant it. Like, let's see, you know, 16 years old or whatever, my parents are going through a divorce. I'm having different issues, girlfriend issues, friend issues. I'm having issues all around. And on top of that, you come and tell me that I have a chemical imbalance that needs to be treated with medication and going to see a psychiatrist and a psychologist and all kinds of other stuff.
Oh.
And what I did is I actually checked myself in voluntarily to go be evaluated to find out if there was actually really something wrong with me. Is there something wrong with me? And come to find out, you know, they were like, oh, you have a chemical imbalance, and we could be treated with medication, but you got to go see a psychologist and a psychiatrist or whatever. One gives medication, one doesn't give medication, and I've lost track of how many psychologists or psychiatrists or counselors that I've had to speak to within the course of my life. And to be perfectly honest with you, I kind of regret seeing counselors and psychologists and psychiatrists, okay? Because you sit there for an hour, and then at the end of the session, they put out their hand and they're like, okay, copayment. You know, where's my copayment? You know what I mean? And at the time, this might not seem like a lot of money, but when I first started this whole counseling thing, it was $5 for the co-payment. Then when I think I ended this whole thing, it was $25 for a co-payment. That's only because my wife has halfway decent insurance. Besides that, it could have been a ridiculous amount of money. I went to go see somebody for a back therapist thing. I'm still getting bills in for that. And I only went for one visit, and all the lady did is consult me. And I'm still getting bills in that. It's messing up my credit. Just because somebody talked to me, okay, I'm getting a bill for that, because that's how good the insurance is nowadays. The insurance sucks, okay? But on top of that, you go see these people, and I got to tell you, my record of people that I was going to see, they were terrible. Just terrible. It's like they didn't care about me. Bell goes off, time is up. I'd be in mid-sentence pouring out my guts and heart and everything and telling them what's going on in my life. And they're like, okay, well, that's it. Time's up. Time for you to go. I'll see you again next week, same time. And I'm like, so this is a to be continued? You know, am I on an episode of Laverne and Shirley or Happy Days or Facts of Life, and I got a to be continued? Is this different strokes? Am I on a to be continued? No, listen, I got stuff going on. Okay, if you care about me, you're gonna listen to what I have to say. And I understand you got other people that are lined up or whatever, but maybe you might want to free up the day for this crazy guy. Okay, this crazy guy needs to talk to somebody for a longer than an hour, and on top of that, you always, every single counsel always starts with, like, how are you doing? And then they start rolling on like a little conversation. And the counselors that I always had, they were always telling me about themselves. I almost felt like I was being counseled too by them. I almost felt like at the end I should ask them for a co-payment. So because after we became friendly, you know, and I told them my situation or whatever, I don't know if I triggered something in their past, but next thing you know, they're telling me about their kids, they're telling me about their wives, they're telling me about their husbands, they're telling me about it was. I'm like, who's being consulted here? Who's the counselor, and who's the psychiatrist? Would you like me to prescribe some medication to you? And on top of that, I go see this original doctor once, which I never had anxiety issues for years. Okay, my anxiety started maybe about 20 something years ago. Okay, but for years I never had one anxiety issue. And then what happened was my doctor, this lovely doctor I had, this brainiac. Okay, he put me on this medication called Wellbutrin. Okay, and he put me on this medication, and it had reverse side effects because he was treating me for depression, but I wasn't depressed. Okay, I was having some kind of other issue. I don't know what the issue was, because I was getting physically sick. I want to say it was anxiety. I want to say it was stress. I want to say it had to do with that, but I wasn't depressed. I wasn't upset. Okay, I wasn't like having bad thoughts. So I was just like angry and upset, and I think a lot of it had to do with the job I had. So he starts giving me this medication to treat me for depression, and it had a reverse effect. And next thing you know, I'm like depressed. When I wasn't depressed, now all of a sudden I am depressed. Okay, and so we call him up, and he's like, stop taking it right away. Just stop taking it cold turkey after taking it for about a month. So if anybody's familiar with taking any kind of prescription drug that's like heavy like that, like a heavy, like there's a benzo or whatever, you know the addictive stuff. Okay, you don't just stop cold turkey because you have drug withdrawals. And this put me on the floor in my living room for a week, shaking like a leaf. Okay, I was literally on the ground, and I could barely make it to the bathroom. I was having accidents. My wife was covering. I didn't want to eat. I couldn't. It was the strangest thing, because a part of my body, it was actually my leg. I remember correctly. My right leg would not stop shaking. Like, a part of my body would not stop shaking for almost a week. Okay, I moved from one room to another room. Could barely walk. It was an absolute nightmare. So when I see things happening with my family, and I see like stuff going on with us and everything, and I'm like, you know, it's in the blood. It's issues. We all have these issues, but we need to get it taken care of right away. And this is how we do it, because I've been through all this stuff. And I went to go see the doctor today, and I was going through my list of that asked me what medications I've been on in the past, and I'm going through this long laundry list of medications, and the lady's just looking at me like, wow. I told him, I said, I was literally told by my doctor it was a hit or miss. You know, we got to try this in order to get to this. We got to find the right one for you. And they're like, what have you been on? I'm like, oh, I've been on lithium, Paxil, Prozac, Xanax, Wellbutrin. There was a list, everything I could possibly remember that I was ever put on. I was telling I was on. I was looking for something to level me off, because I do believe personally, even I guess if you did not know this, if you were diagnosed with manic depression back in the day, or chemical imbalance or manic depression or whatever, that's back in the day was bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder, I guess, is a newer name, because when I got diagnosed, it was back in the late 80s, early 90s or whatever, and back then there wasn't a bipolar disorder, there was manic depression, okay? And that's what they said I was diagnosed with. And I've been on medication ever since to control my moods. I'm at a plateau. I'm very a very, normally calm guy, a very loving guy, and I got a lot going on in my head. The problem is my head keeps going. That's the biggest problem. Is it's like a curse and a gift. Okay, it's a curse and a gift, because as a teacher, as a preschool teacher, I'm constantly able to come up with something to keep the children busy. I'm constantly able to come up with something fun and interesting. I do puppets, I do magic, I'm constantly able to keep, because I'll stay up all night and I'll watch a guy do 101 magic tricks, and then I'll go to school the next day and I'll do the magic trick, or I'll practice different voices in the mirror, and then I'll pick up a puppet and I'll be like, that's the voice for this puppet, and then the next thing you know, I got the puppet teaching the alphabet or the numbers or whatever to the kids. So it's like a curse and a gift at the same time. But I'll tell you, people, as you get older, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks that your mind doesn't stop racing. Okay, I'm thinking about last night, and now I got sleep apnea. So I got the sleep apnea machine, and because of the co-payments and everything like that, okay, I was like, okay, they want to do a sleep study. Oh, $300 and something for the sleep study. I'm like, you want to study me for one night to tell me that I got something that I already know I got, because the wife tells me I stop breathing and I snore. Okay, so I just go on Marketplace or whatever, Facebook Marketplace, and I buy myself a sleep apnea machine. I diagnosed myself, and I went and I took care of myself. But I'll tell you, I think the reason why I try so hard with the children, especially at the school, when I try so hard with the preschools and everything, to try to get them to understand morals and try to get them to understand feelings and emotions and all this kind of stuff, is because I really want them to grow up to stop and take a look at themselves. It took a while for me to accept the fact that there was a problem. It took a while for me. I thought something was wrong with me. I was like, there's something wrong with me. And it made me very, very sad. It made me like, I'm like, why am I like this? What did I do to deserve this mess? And then I realized it has really had nothing to do with me. This hereditary thing is the truth. I mean, I swear, my father, my uncle, my other uncle, family members that I got. Listen, there's a list of people that have bipolar disorder. I got a lot of narcissists. Is that the word for narcissist? People that believe their lies in my family. There's a whole mess load of things going on in my family, and it does. We kind of listen. I like to say we reap what we sow. If you don't understand, we reap what we sow. It's a biblical term. We reap what we sow, meaning that if you plant good seeds, you get good seeds. You plant bad seeds, you get bad crop. You know what I mean? It's one of those that's a biblical term. But other people like to say it's a karma. You know what I mean? It's like if you're good to people, then they'll be good to you. Do unto others as you'd have done unto you. That kind of stuff. Okay. So I believe in that stuff. I believe that I believe I suffer, and my kids suffer, and my family suffers sometimes from all of the mistakes that I've made in my life. Because it seems to me like recently, now that I'm getting older, the things that my kids are going through, I've gone through. Like things that I see my kids struggle with, I've struggled with. And I almost feel like I've been blessed. And yeah, I'm using the word blessed, okay? Because some people that doesn't sound like a good thing to have. Yeah, it is kind of in a way, because I went through these things so they don't want to have to go through these things. But the problem is with my children, the problem is with a lot of people's children, is, and I'm not the only one that's like this, I'm sure, is that your kids don't want to listen to you. The people that you love and you want to help, whether you be a teacher and that's what your thing is to help children, whether it be you're a teacher and you want to help parents, if you're a parent and you want to help your own kids, if you're a parent and you are a husband and you want to help your wife, and you see them going through things, and you've been through these things before, and you know the struggles, you understand the struggles, but they're looking at you like, listen, we're tired of hearing from you. We're tired of hearing you talk. We're tired of hearing, we don't believe you. You might be telling stories, okay? I love that. Listen, everything that comes out of my mouth, okay? eh, not, I don't want to be a liar. 97%, 96% of the stuff that comes out of my mouth is the truth. Okay, I have nothing to hide at this stage in the game of my life. Okay, I have nothing to hide. What do I got to lose? I got nothing to lose. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, and that's what this channel is all about. It's about being honest with people. Okay, I love when people post something. I'll tell you right now, I don't have physical friends in my life. Okay, I don't have like people that I go over their house on a normal basis. I don't have people that I call up on the phone and talk to. See how I did that? I did old school. Yes, I'm getting old. See, because people don't talk like that anymore. They talk like this. Okay, this is a thing. Okay, no, it's like this now. Okay, and then they hit a button, they put it in their pocket. No, I'm still talking. Yes, I'm old school. I don't have friends like that no more. Okay, I don't have friends that I can call up and say, listen, I'm struggling with something. I'm having a hard time. I need to talk to somebody. Can I have a few minutes of your time? And they care enough to listen to me. I don't have that no more. So what I got is you guys. What I got is the comments that I get. And if you haven't noticed, if you've been sticking around on this channel for a long time, I respond to everybody I possibly can. Now, I will warn you that YouTube does delete comments. So there are sometimes I do not get all the comments. If you say something in your comment that they don't like, they will get rid of it, okay? And I will not get to respond to you, and I apologize for that, but that ain't me. I live by these things, okay? I as soon as I see a little notification on my phone or on my tablet or on whatever, I respond to you, however I can respond, okay? So if you're in the same boat that I'm in, and if you're struggling with, I say all the time that movies are memories, because I'm trying to hang on to every good memory that I could possibly hang on to. And that's the truth. When I buy a movie, I'm trying to hang on to those good times. Listen, I complain a lot about my childhood, but there were good times. But the sad part is most of the good times was when I was left alone. Okay, the best times of my life was when I was left alone to go on my scooter to the movie theater to go see a movie, or I hanging around with my uncle looking for lizards or whatever the heck we were looking for, snakes or whatever, or just hanging at my grandmother's house listening to her. We were driving home the other day. And I was reenacting a conversation that my grandmother would have had with my uncle back in the day. And every other word out of my grandmother's mouth was the F word. And she was the sweetest, craziest woman I ever met in my life. But she was like a straight up truck driver. I'm telling you right now, man. She taught me words that I had no idea what they were. To this day, I still don't know what they are, because she spoke English and she spoke Portuguese. So sometimes she swear in English, sometimes she swear in Portuguese. I didn't know what the heck she was talking about at the time. But man, she was mad. She get mad sometimes. And my uncle, what got brought up was while we were driving home, was kind of funny, because my uncle used to tell her that she needed to go shave her upper lip. Yeah, you need to go shave your upper lip. Hey, go shave. Hey, listen, when you get old, when you become a grandmother, I guess, or a great grandmother, whatever it is, when you get old, okay, you just don't keep up with yourself sometimes. And he was right. My grandmother, she had like a little mole over here, and it was like there was hair coming out of it, and he would constantly like tell her to go shave her upper lip, and she'd blast him with a F you and this, that, and then his friends were always bastards. You were even hanging around with those bastards. You're always hanging around with those bastards. And for years I didn't know what a bastard was. I had to look it up. I had to look up what a bastard was. But yeah, my uncle was hanging around with them bastards all the time, and she'd be effing this and effing that, and he would go back and forth with her. And I gotta tell you, it's odd. You might find this to be odd, but that was probably the best time of my life. The best days of my life were spent hanging around with my uncle and my grandmother in their house together, watching them argue. It probably wasn't his best time in his life, my uncle's best time in his life, and it probably wasn't her best time in her life. They brawled, man. They brawled, and it was classic stuff. I mean, it was like the stuff that went on, and I don't mind talking. I mean, she passed away years ago. I love her to death. I mean, I gotta say, out of all the people that have ever passed away in my life, she's probably like number one on my list for people that I miss. But man, and my uncle, he's a character. he used to protect me. It was cool because she had some. Listen, this is where the mental disorder and the bipolar disorder and the mental issues come into play, because she definitely has something going on with her. Because like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, she would just, you could see the silhouette. He'd ask me to sleep over. Okay, you want to sleep over at my house? And my uncle, his bed was on the floor. I always wondered why his bed was on the floor. Bed was on the floor because I'm pretty sure. Now, I'm going to falsify some of this storytelling because I don't really know 100% of the reasoning behind it. But back in the day when I used to go visit him, he used to hide under the bed. So my grandmother come at him, with whatever she could find. This lady was amazing, okay? She come at him with a baseball bat. She come at him with a tennis racket, whatever and I never always thought he was kind of stupid, okay? In my head, I was like he would like leave her like an arsenal of weapons in front of his front door. Because one time, incidentally, that I remember, and he had his bed and it was on the floor because she I don't know if she broke the bed or took his baseboard off or whatever it was, so he couldn't go under the bed anymore. And it was like maybe 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and he always had a nightlight on, and there was always a nightlight on. I could see the silhouette of her standing at the door, and I remember him telling me, "Move," and I kind of, he had like a space about, let me move my hand a little bit, space about this big in between the bed and the wall, and I would literally roll into the space while she would be wailing on him with like a tennis racket. You know what I mean? And it was like. And all I can remember is her yelling, "You out with those bastards again? You out with those bastards again?" And I must have been probably around maybe 9 or 10 or something like that. Maybe younger, I don't know. But he protected me from her. But she would have never. I don't think she ever would have hurt me personally, because that's just the way she was. She never laid a hand on me. She never laid a hand on me. But her and my uncle, man, they would go at it, and he probably don't miss it. You know, and I'm sure if she was still alive right now, she probably wouldn't miss it. But it was like a big, they were a big part of my life, a big chunk of my life. And now I look back at it, I'm like, she had something going on. I got something going on. I think my father had something going on. Yeah, I think everybody in my family's got something going on. And it's a struggle. It's a mental illness. And it's a struggle, and you either got to figure out a way to make something good out of it, or you just throw up your hands and you give up, and you just I don't know, you turn bad. I don't know. It's like a Green Goblin. You know, it's either like you turn good or you turn bad. You know, one day you're happy, and the next day, you know, you're hearing voices and somebody's telling you to turn bad. I don't know. It's a strange. My next door neighbor's hacking up his family or something. I don't know what's going on over there. I've been hearing that for like 3 or 4 days now. But yeah, I just thought I'd share about that. I mean, I did a whole rant about how are you doing, but this is what I'm asking you. How mentally, how are you doing? I mean, how's everybody going? How's everything going? I mean, do you have the same issues as me? Are you a collector that's hanging on to your trying to find a piece of your childhood that's missing? Because that's what I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. I keep buying these things and collecting these things, and I think of that Inside Out movie as core memories, the little balls there from the movie, and I'm like, every time I get a movie, every time I get a toy, every time I get something that I had when I was a kid, it just brings me back a memory of things that I went through when I was younger, and they weren't all good times, but. It's funny because what I'm telling you, these stories I'm telling you, you're probably looking at like, wow, that was abuse. That's terrible. That sounds terrible, but it really wasn't. To me, I don't know. It really wasn't. To me, it was better than being home. Is that crazy? Is that a crazy comment to make? Because like I could have been at home, with my father and mother fighting all the time, yelling, screaming, throwing things across the room, hitting each other. You know, it was like not physically hitting each other with stuff, but I mean like throwing remote controls and throwing soda bottles and throwing lamps and throwing plants and throwing. I mean, and yelling and screaming and ripping up money and ripping up this and ripping up that and banging things and knocking over this. No, it was better. It was actually better to go visit my grandmother and my uncle, and there was abuse going on over there too. It was just I lived a life surrounded by abuse. Everywhere I looked, there was just abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, and I think that's why I've attached myself to this preschool teaching, and I just want so much better for people. in this world. I want people not to have to go through the things that I went through. I don't want a child to ever have to see the things that I saw. And I don't want them to I don't want them to come home after school and say that they were being bullied or harassed or hurt, or a teacher was being mean to them, or a friend was being mean to them. I try very hard, very, very hard to make sure that they feel safe, because I never felt safe. I don't think I ever felt safe my entire life. I don't think I have ever had a safe moment where I felt like I could sit there and nothing was going to happen to me. And that's tough. That's tough after many, many years. Tough, tough. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with that. So yeah, this was a little bit of a downer, but every once in a while I gotta hit you with one of them. Every once in a while I gotta be like real with you, because I have to. Like I could make jokes, and I could open up packages, and I could tell you funny stories about my childhood and you might think some of this stuff is funny. You might think having people get beat up with tennis rackets is a hilarious thing. I'm sure right now, after you don't watch this video, you might actually go on YouTube and look up people being beaten up with tennis rackets. But at the time, I'm sure that the people in my life were not excited about this. Okay, I'm sure they weren't happy with the situation, and it was an odd childhood. Now that I stop and reflect on it, and before I made this video, I was driving in my car, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make my video, because I haven't made a video in a while because we had a vacation and everything, and I was like, I'm gonna if I wasn't such a big guy, I'd cross my legs, and I was picturing myself with like a little smoking jacket with a pipe and everything, just having a hot to hot. But due to the fact that I don't own a smoking jacket or a pipe and I can't cross my legs, none of that could happen. So I figured, all right, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna reminisce a little bit. I'm gonna share with you, because there's a reason why people struggle. There's a reason why there's tons of psychiatrists out there and tons of medication out there, and I've not yet figured out how to make things better for myself. And I always ask for peace, you know what I mean? But I don't know if I'm ever gonna truly find peace. I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing. So I got a package from Arrow Video, and please subscribe. 40% not subscribed. That might give me a little bit of peace. Why is it 40% not subscribed? Why? I mean, is it that difficult for you to hit the subscribe button? But I appreciate you when you do that. So anyway, what am I even doing? This is already open. This is open because I'm losing my mind. It's gone. It's already lost. It's gone. All right. So anyway, this is from Arrow Video, and I did open it. And I'm going to tell you why, and maybe you can help me out with this or whatever, because I'm a little confused. So Arrow Video, as you know, if you open up, they give you that little stuff and stuff there. And first, I want to talk about. Actually, I'll do this one second. I'll do this one first. I did get the special edition with the special slipcover, Arrow Video exclusive of Mallrats. Yes. This is the 4K. I own the Blu-ray Arrow Video release. I'm getting caught in this 4K Blu-ray trap. Okay, that's what's going on here. Is because they're releasing 4Ks and they're changing the cover art, and you're really not getting a heck of a lot extra except for the 4K. And that's where I'm falling into some kind of weird Alice through the looking glass hole. Okay. Now there's a guy, Richard Diaz there. I absolutely adore. I think he's he incites me. He gives me all the knowledge I need on what to pick up and when things come out, whatever. But he's a big 4K guy. He's a big. There's some people out there that are just big 4K guys. They think 4K is absolutely rule. Okay, and me, I'm a Blu-ray guy. I'm sorry, I cannot reach that 4K thing yet, because I prefer the colors. I prefer the texture. I prefer everything on the Blu-ray over the 4K. I just think that 4Ks are too perfect sometimes. I believe that they are too dark sometimes. I think you need a little bit of grain sometimes. I think a too perfect picture is just not realistic. It's just not realistic. And on top of that, I only got one 4K player in this house. I only got one 4K TV in this house. So I can't even watch these things in the room that I want to watch. And so it really makes no sense. But every time he shows me these things, or I see that they're coming out at Scream Factory Arrow, or what's it? Scream Factory Arrow, Vinegar Syndrome. When they're releasing the 4Ks, I get all excited because I'm like, new cover art. New cover art doesn't come with any bonus features. But then you come to find out when you look at the back of these things that all of the bonus features are on the Blu-rays. Now this is the 4K, but disc one. So this is limited edition contents. Disc one is the theatrical cut, and disc two is the extended cut. And both of these are on 4K. I have this on Blu-ray, the extended cut and the theatrical cut. So, and the content stuff, the limited edition content. What are we getting here? 4K restoration for Arrow Films, both on the theatrical and the extended cut. Okay. You get the collector's booklet. Okay. And you get Operation Drive-By and Operation Dark Knight fold-out mail matte poster. So there's a poster in here also that I believe was available on the Blu-ray. So why did I buy this? I bought this pretty much for this slipcover, which is actually one of them. If you stare at it long enough, things there, you can actually see what it says. Now, I'm not going to tell you what it says because I showed this to my wife. I showed this to my daughter, and I don't think either one of them were able to figure it out. I think you might have to be a little mental to be able to pick up on these things. I'll tell you, I could look at this thing like once, and I could pick up on it right away. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I don't have to. It's like one of these things. I remember back in the day, you used to see these at the mall. They used to be like, relax your eyes, look at the corner look in the corner of something, and then drag your eyes slowly to the middle, and you'll be able to see the image or whatever. I can just look at them and find them. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's a gift. It's a gift. But I bought this because it was the 4K and it came with this cool cover. But be honest with you, it's just the Blu-ray. Just upgraded a little bit, you know what I mean, with a different cover. Now, the next thing may be a problem because I did this with Flash Gordon. Next thing I ordered was the Waterworld 4K. Now, once again, we get on this thing 3-disc limited edition contents. Disc 1, the theatrical cut, 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray. Okay. Disc 2, the TV cut, Blu-ray limited edition, exclusive. Okay, and disc 3, the Ulysses cut, Blu-ray limited edition. So this is just a Blu-ray and a Ulysses cut. I messed up. I really think I messed up because I have this. Okay, and I watched this actually the other day just so I could see if I was losing my mind. This is the Blu-ray edition, and okay, Blu-ray edition, okay, versus the 4K edition. 3-disc limited edition contents. Disc 1, the theatrical cut. Disc 1, the theatrical cut. Disc 2, the TV cut. Disc 2, the TV cut. Disc 3, the Ulysses cut. Limited edition exclusive. Disc 3, the Ulysses cut. Limited edition exclusive. The only difference between this box set and this box set is it comes with the 4K of the theatrical cut. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. Of the theatrical cut. That's it. So the reason why I said I screwed up is because, I mean, look at the side. Comes with the same books, same everything. So what happened was I'm a big Flash Gordon fan, and I bought Flash Gordon because this Arrow, right? This Arrow, yeah, it's Arrow, right? Did they not do this to me? Yeah, Arrow video, because Arrow released the Flash Gordon edition, but I was a little bit smarter. I was like, you know what? I want to get Flash Gordon on 4K. Why? Because I'm a completist and because I love Flash Gordon. It's like one of my favorite movies, just like Waterworld. A lot of people hated this movie. That's another thing. People hated this movie. I love this movie. I absolutely love Waterworld. I love the whole, I can't swim, but I love the whole factor that the polar ice caps could have melted and this guy's on his boat and he's just like, and there's people like hunting for food. I love that Mad Max feel. Anything that has like that futuristic, we done screwed up vibe. I love those kind of movies, you know, not the ones like the ones that like End of the World, not like there's like weird stuff going on, like stuff. This is just kind of really kind of crazy, you know what I mean? But love this movie, love it. So I was like, okay, but I wasn't thinking because when Mr. my friend there, Mr. Diaz said that Waterworld was coming out on 4K. I'm like, Waterworld's coming out on 4K. Yes, I did the same thing with Creepshow. I'm like, Creepshow's coming out on 4K. Yes. And I ordered it. I'm like, I just bought the Creepshow Super Deluxe Blu-ray thing, and I'm a Blu-ray guy. I'm not a 4K guy. I just think 4Ks are too expensive. I think that They make way too many 4Ks and steelbooks. If you're a steelbook lover, I'm also not a steelbook lover. I'm also not a big fan of steelbooks. I don't take good care of them. They get smashed up, they get dings, they get pings, and I don't really love the cover art on any steelbook. I've never really looked at the steelbook and said, yes, I love the cover art. I like the whole fact that when I take the back piece off, I get no information on the back. Like I think I got a steelbook somewhere around. I'm not gonna pull it. There's one over here somewhere. But if you take the J card off of the steelbook, you got no information. You just got a picture on the back. I like having the information on the back. I like to be able to read. Like I like to be able to pick this up and go, hey, I'm gonna watch the I think I'm gonna watch the Ulysses cut today. How much more time is that one compared to it's 178 minutes. Oh, the other one's 176. Oh, the other one 135. If you do that with a steel, you don't get that information on the back of a steelbook. And on top of that, like I said, with the 4K, I don't see much difference. You know what I mean? I never see enough difference for me to care. That's just the bottom line. And with that said, my friends, yeah, I'm putting that aside, and I'm gonna thank you. I want to thank you for stopping by. I want to thank you for watching another one of my videos. I want to thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, I appreciate it if you would just stop a second and subscribe. Listen, just like a movie, just like a baseball game, just like anything that you might be into, there are hits and some misses. Okay, you might not have enjoyed this kind of content. You might have been like, hey, you know what, mental health and complaining about stuff like that's not my thing. But the next one might be hilarious. I might tell you a story about my childhood that might make you crack up, or you might learn something, or I might introduce something to you, or unbox something that you've never seen before. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to hit the bell, that's even better. Help me to help get this thing out there. Because I work very hard on this channel. And I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because I enjoy it, and I enjoy the feedback I get from you guys. Because as far as I'm considered, as far as you guys are considered, I consider you all my friends. Okay, this is my friends. This is my friends group. Okay, I don't need to go out with you guys. I don't need to hang out at the mall. We don't need to go out and spend money. All you have to do is just tune in and comment, and we be lifelong friends. It's very. I was gonna say until you get on my nerves, but then I was like, you know what? It's very, very difficult for anybody to get on my nerves. Very, very difficult. I'm a very forgiving, peaceful person, and I love getting feedback, and I love when people critique me. Listen. I got a big thing with the kids. You don't learn nothing unless somebody says something to you. If you guys don't tell me I did something wrong, I'm not going to learn. I won't learn from my mistakes. I believe mistakes are important. I believe you learn from your mistakes. So it's important to make mistakes and you learn from your mistakes. It's the people that make mistakes and say, hey, you know what? It wasn't me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I can't admit that I made a mistake. Listen, I always admit I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And with that said, my friends, thank you for stopping by one more time. And I will see you later.
You should have saved me some.